NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Before the internet space, most of the opportunities were stuck in the top few individuals or institutional players. The internet has democratized opportunity for the people. The internet has democratized information, right, for everyone.
Good evening. Welcome to NBT World Thailand today. In this episode, we will delve into cryptocurrency and its impact on Thailand's future. Joining us is Kun Jirayut Srupsrisopa, founder and Group CEO of Bitkub, who will discuss how digital assets are reshaping the financial landscape, the opportunities and the challenges that lie ahead. Stay tuned for an insightful discussion on digital currency and its potential for the country's economic growth. สวัสดีครับ Hello, Kun Top. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us in BT World today. And before we get into the topic of our discussion today, maybe it's great to have you introduce yourself a little bit. Maybe your name, your title, and a little bit on your background.
Sure. My name is Top. I'm the founder and the Group CEO of Bitkub. We are the largest digital asset company in Thailand. Actually, we are the biggest in ASEAN now in what we do. I have been doing this. I've been in this space for 11 years now. I was one of the very first person to advocate about Bitcoin in Thailand 11 years ago, and now we became the largest and the most trusted platform for the Thai customers in this country.
Thank you for that. And just to touch on a little bit on your educational background, I believe you were spending quite a bit of years abroad. Can you touch on that just briefly?
Sure. So I did my high school in New Zealand, and I did my undergraduate and master's in the UK.
And you start your interest in cryptocurrency right before or after or during your study?
Right after graduation. I was reading economics at university, and my most favorite subject was the economic history, the evolution of monetary history. And after graduation, I jumped right into crypto 11 years ago when it just about to take off. I was during the very early stage, since 2013. Back then, nobody understood what Bitcoin was. Many people thought it was a Ponzi scheme, drug money, toy money.
I see.
So it was a very niche market back then, and we gradually grew in tandem with the industry.
I see. So let's get into it. Cryptocurrency. Maybe you can tell us once again in front of our audience today, what is cryptocurrency in your definition?
Cryptocurrency is not a currency, or it's not an asset class. Mm-hmm. It's a new category called Internet Protocol with scarcity. Internet Protocol is like a common language for people from all walks of life, with different incentives to work together to solve a particular problem, internet problem. And in the past 20 years, with the arrival of the internet, we had the first set of protocols that were able to digitize information. For example, we used TCP/IP protocol for us to connect to talk online via Skype, Zoom, Google Meet. Right? All these applications are built on top of what we call a TCP/IP protocol. And we use a different set of protocols for email conversation. Right? Gmail, Hotmail, they are built on SMTP protocol. We have SSL protocol, security protocol. We have HTTPS protocol to access browsers. Right? And the first set of protocols were used to digitize information, right? All kinds of information. And the likes of Bitcoin, Ethereum, They are a new generation of internet protocols that brings in scarcity value. They, for example, Bitcoin is a new internet protocol that allows us to store value in a decentralized manner, store value over the internet without relying on third-party intermediaries for the first time in human history. So digital currency is an internet protocol to solve different set of issues that we were not able to solve in the past, because the first set of internet, the first layer of the internet brings in digital abundance capabilities. We were able to digitize all kinds of information, and we were able to exchange information in a more effective, in a more efficient manner. But they do it in a way that they create additional copies. For example, if I were to send a photo to you or a video files to you, I do it in a way that I create an additional copy, and the original copy is still in my local terminal. And we were able to send that in a more efficient, effective, in a frictionless, global, instant manner. But we have 2 copies now. We can have unlimited copies of that photo or that video. That's the previous way that the internet were able to digitize information, to convert from physical format into a digital format. Right? So now videos, CDs, movies, music, everything is in a digital file for a more efficient communication manner. But when we talk about value, right, we still rely on physical products like paper money, gold, like yellow stones, like physical stone, deeds, title deeds, bonds, treasury bills. The second set of internet.
Which brings me to the next question. The value of cryptocurrency. Is it still relying upon supply and demand of the number of coins in this case on the market? Is that value dependent on the number of coins, supply and demand?
Yeah, so we can, since it's a totally different animal, right? It's not classified as a currency. Cryptocurrency is not classified as an asset class. It's an internet protocol with scarcity value. It's like TCP/IP, but with limited numbers. We can't apply the same logics or formulas to determine the equilibrium price or the actual value. We can't apply P ratio, D ratio, discounted cash flow, like how we value stocks. Cryptocurrency shares the same property as internet companies. For example, Facebook. The value of Facebook does not derive from the platform itself or the software itself. It relies on the network of users. If I'm the only person using Hi5 or MySpace in Thailand, then it's a useless platform for me, because nobody can comment, nobody can see what I'm doing, I cannot interact with anybody. But if I'm joining Facebook, the network is getting larger and larger as we speak. It's going to be valuable for the joiner as well as the existing members as the network grows. Right? The value of Facebook does not come from the platform or the software, but it comes from the network of users. Same for Bitcoin. If only 50 countries were using Bitcoin, then it's only of a certain use. But if eventually 197 countries adopt Bitcoin or joining the Bitcoin network, then it's going to be useful for us to send money across to virtually every country in the world. So the value comes from the network effect and the economy of scale.
And the confidence of people who use it.
Right.
If you're talking about Bitcoin, I got to go to the term blockchain, and you've touched on that a little bit. I know it's a decentralized system that is used to secure the transactions being done on a cryptocurrency market. Can you go into a little bit of details on what blockchain does, just to help people understand a little bit better?
Yeah, sure. So in the past 20 years, the internet, or the first generation of the internet, has already digitized anything that can be digitized. Right? Going forward with the blockchain, the second layer of the internet, anything that can be tokenized will be tokenized. All kinds of information has already successfully been digitized. Going forward, all kinds of value will be digitized, or we call it tokenized. All kinds of values will be tokenized.
Now, a token and a coin is not the same thing, right? Or is this the same thing in this case?
It's tokenization and digitization is just creating a digital representation of physical
value. Yes.
right, physical products. There'll be a digital representation of all kinds of value. Gold, we can tokenize diamonds, we can tokenize money market fund, tokenize security, and Bitcoin is we can tokenize currency as stable coin. So going forward, what blockchain does is that it will digitize all kinds of value. Anything that can be digitized will be digitized. Right? All kinds of information has already been digitized. Now we are moving towards value. All kinds of value will be digitized. We call it tokenized in the future.
Imagine a land where every month brings a new celebration, a new adventure. Welcome to Thailand, where vibrant festivals and events await you across 55 provinces in all 5 regions. Indulge in the culinary delights of the amazing food festival, marvel at the illuminated artistry of Visit 5 regions, and immerse yourself in the cultural spectacle of the amazing Muay Thai experience. Each event is a gateway to the unique traditions and flavors of Thailand, offering unforgettable experiences that will leave you longing for more. Join us in Thailand, where every month is a celebration and every visit is a new story waiting to be told.
What has the cryptocurrencies done differently in recent years to gain so much popularity and so many more visitors are paying interest in taking part? What are the key differences between cryptocurrencies and regular stocks out there?
Sure. I guess the best way to understand this is to look at the internet space. Before the internet space, most of the opportunities were stuck in the top few individuals or institutional players. The internet has democratized opportunity for the people. The internet has democratized information, right, for everyone. And with the blockchain, it's the same thing. It's from the ground up approach, not from the top down. It's from the bottom up approach. Blockchain is democratizing investment opportunity as well. If you look at the other products before the arrival of the blockchain, institutions or high net worth individuals always get the first chance to invest. Front run, retail. Right? Institutional investors get access to the best investment opportunities way before retail investors. I cannot go to Facebook and say I want to invest $10 in Facebook unless I have 10 billion, right?
Yes.
Like Li Ka-shing to invest early in Facebook before they go public. But with the blockchain, it shares the similar concept to internet. It democratizes opportunity for the people. So what have been happening in the past was that the cryptocurrency market were driven mostly by retail from the ground up, bottom up, retail individuals, retail customers. But this time, this is the 4th wave now. It's a cyclical business, right? Once every 4 years, there's a boom year, right? And this is the 4th cycle. And this cycle is different. This cycle is when the institutional investors come in. We see the likes of BlackRock, Fidelity, MicroStrategy buying a lot of Bitcoin. Even at the governmental level, Trump's just signed an executive order for the Bitcoin strategic reserve, with the US taking the first action.
And I heard you from your previous interview too that this is a perfect time, perfect generation to implement on cryptocurrency because we have all the technology and the internet, the security of the internet. So I guess let's look at Thailand now. Cryptocurrency in Thailand. Where do you see that right now? Or is it widely acceptable? Or Can we use Bitcoin or other types of cryptocurrencies in Thailand right now?
Not yet. I mean, cryptocurrency market is pretty advanced in Thailand, first of all, compared to the peers in this region. We have the most stable regulations. We have per capita ratio, one of the highest adoption of cryptocurrency in the world. To the point that 1 out of every 7 persons here have our application on their phone. Right?
1 out of 7.
1 out of 7.
That's pretty good.
We have 10 million downloads. Probably more concentrated in Bangkok. 1 out of 3 maybe people have our application on their phone. So per capita ratio, we're doing very well. But in terms of payments, Bitcoin is not a legal tender. Right? Cryptocurrency is not classified as money, which was last updated almost 80 years ago. The definition of money in Thailand, right, in the year 2475, Thai year.
So it's not an acceptable form of payment, but people are encouraged to buy, sell, or trade through licensed operators like yourself.
Yeah. So the main majority of the activities here are mostly trading, but not for payments yet. But then with the current government, they're very supportive of the digital assets direction. They're using Phuket as a sandbox for hopefully the tourists to be able to pay, to bring in new money into the Thai economy with the wealth they generated from Bitcoin. Right? They can liquidate their Bitcoin transaction in Phuket to stimulate the economy with the new wealth. Right now, the overall cryptocurrency market is worth $3-4 trillion US, which is like 8-9 times of Thailand's GDP. Right? That's the equivalent of 8 or 9 Thailand as a country. And that's the new money that if the sandbox is launched successfully, Phuket's GDP could
Skyrocket. Yes.
right, surpass the overall national GDP by 8 times.
And when can we expect that to happen, the sandbox operation in Phuket, do you think?
It requires coordination from different stakeholders, right? From the Bank of Thailand, the SEC,
A lot needs to happen, yes.
the tax, the RD, revenue department. But if as soon as possible, because if we can remove capital gain tax, just like Dubai, right? People would rather be cashing out in Phuket than in a desert. We have very nice beaches,
Yes.
Very nice food, price to quality ratio, service minded. We're already a de-stressed destination for the
It's a
world.
great boost for tourism. Yes.
It's definitely a great boost for tourism, and these are big spenders. We don't need to attract low quality tourists. We attract big spenders who made a lot of money in a short amount of time. They spent like tremendous amount, which can lift up the country's GDP right away without getting into more deficit. We have been trying to stimulate our economy by getting into more debt, right? Fiscal spending, monetary stimulus. But if we can just coordinate with different stakeholders to allow crypto as payment to happen, then we're going to bring in new money. $3-4 trillion will not be cashing out in Dubai. They will be cashing out in Thailand.
Bring the money here.
They bring the money here, and it's going to be the biggest stimulus package, and it impacts zero. It creates zero impact on our debt to GDP ratio.
Now, was this news stated when the Prime Minister was at WEF Davos, World Economic Forum, early this year? Well, maybe you could touch on a little bit what happened there, because since you were there like 4 consecutive years, right?
Yeah. Our Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister and the ministers were at Davos this year. And we had Thailand's national Thailand's national dialogue, and the main direction of the country is to be a de-stressed destination for the world. We want to become better at medical tourism, wellness, longevity, kitchen of the world, and a leader in the fintech hub, cloud, data center, digital assets. So the team, the government touched a bit on the fintech area, but mostly we want to focus on the de-stress destination, and the soft power.
And we're second to none in those areas, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How do you come together with AI? Is it a smooth transition, or how do you apply AI to your business now?
There are different stages to the AI implementation. The first stage is cost reduction. Right? We are using AI to automate work block. Right? Work block defines as constant, repetitive workflow that we have to do it again and again every day. Right? We are using AI to automate them into work block. Right?
Better efficiency.
Yeah, I would say 90% of the corporate jobs are doing repetitive software stuff that are not really using humans' brain to the maximum capacity. We have to navigate software. Right? We have to click on this button, we have to press copy, we have to paste, we have to click this link, and every day we have to do the same workflow. It's not really using our human brain to the maximum capacity. So AI would be automating these work block as the first stage. And the second stage would be customer-facing part, front-end customer-facing part. Things like customer support. We can automate customer support. There'll be My Voice. I have actually seen this product myself. Right?
You have seen it yourself?
Yeah, it's exactly My Voice. They were able to extract that from YouTube videos. And going forward, we have 5 million customers calling in our user base, right? And everyone that, customers that call us, it's going to be My Voice talking to them. We can automate customer support, customer-facing part, live, like chatbot, AI chatbot.
Is that like a complicated things to do? No?
It's the
Quite simple?
Lowest hanging fruit.
Wow.
They were saying that 4 major industries would be disrupted by AI first. Right? Customer support is one of them. Education sector, legal profession, and healthcare.
Welcome to Thailand, a premier destination where business seamlessly intertwines with world-class leisure. With direct flights from major cities worldwide, your next corporate event is just a step away. Host your conferences in Bangkok's cutting-edge venues, offering unparalleled facilities and services. Reward your team with relaxation on Phuket's world-renowned beaches, providing the perfect backdrop for rejuvenation. And don't forget to visit Chiang Mai, ranked among the top 5 mountain destinations in Asia, where majestic peaks and a rich cultural heritage await to captivate every traveler. This season, elevate your business journey. Choose Thailand, where every season is the perfect season for MICE.
Now, coming from the person who can optimize the use of AI, such as yourself, do you see any weakness in the coming of AI in this generation at all? How do we approach those threats, if you will, that comes with AI?
So behind closed doors, there are 2 separate answers. For the main stage, they would say that, AI is going to boost productivity growth, etc. Right? Behind closed door, the leaders were saying that there are going to be a huge amount of job losses, and nobody's hiring anymore. They would replace, employees with AI, right, for automation, productivity growth. And the second thing that they said behind closed doors is that government is no way be able to catch up with this AI thing. The direction would be coming from executive order from private companies leaders. And the risk is that private companies have different agendas to government level. So government's objective would be for AI safety, AI governance, right? But they are not able to catch up with this technology in reality. Regulation is always catching up. And since the AI's direction is driven mostly from private companies, and we have this AI Cold War now between China and the US, DeepSeek versus OpenAI, Huawei versus NVIDIA. They put domination first as a primary objective, risk governance as secondary issue. So we're going to have issues that bad actors are leveraging this technology to to run schemes on people.
It's a natural thing that comes with new things, right? We just have to deal with it and cope with it, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess our last question for you today is I want to know your thought on the digital assets business that you're in. Where do you see this business in 5 years, let's say?
In 5 years, Bitcoin strategic reserve is definitely here, like coming. US taking the first action is going to create this game theory where G20 would also then take action if the US is buying 1 million Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. China has almost on par today, right? US has 210,000 Bitcoin. China has 190,000 Bitcoins, almost on par. UK has 50,000 Bitcoins. Bhutan has 10,000 Bitcoins. Ukraine, Russia. So when the US they have signed Trump already signed the executive order. They're going to be buying 200,000 Bitcoin per year in the next 5 years until they reach 1 million Bitcoin, right? 5% of all the Bitcoin in existence, in circulation. China is not going to stop here, right? They're going to be taking the same action. G20 would be taking the same action. UK would not stop at 50,000 Bitcoin if US is hitting 1 million Bitcoin. It's going to be natural resource for the digital economy that people are fighting on for the future. So in the future, in the next 5 years, Bitcoin strategic reserve is coming. Publicly listed strategic Bitcoin reserve, publicly listed companies, strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming. MicroStrategy, right? They have 400,000 Bitcoins, and their stock already exceeded NVIDIA. 2x NVIDIA. If you think NVIDIA stock has increased a lot, times by 2, that's MicroStrategy.
Oh wow!
From just adopting Bitcoin strategy, right? MicroStrategy is a company publicly listed. If you think MicroStrategy outperforms the market, look at MetaPlanet. MicroStrategy of Japan exceeded MicroStrategy. It's going to create the same game theory scenario where publicly listed companies are going to store their shareholders' wealth into Bitcoin just to protect from currency debasement. Right? Right now, if the stock is not able to, the company is not able to grow at least 20% per year, it's going to lose liquidity because investors would rather put their money to work in S&P 500. Right? 11% minimum average growth in the past 10 years. And they were able to diversify their investment into a basket of stocks.
So with this geopolitical situation that is going on worldwide, you think that's the direction that we're headed towards, I think. More Bitcoin reserves is becoming like a new Fort Knox.
Yeah, right? It's actually a flight to safety now.
Yes,
it's actually a safe haven.
I agree with that now.
Yes. It's almost like a digital gold.
Yes. Yes.
And apart from publicly listed companies, Bitcoin strategic reserve, all the private wealth, family offices, they would be diversifying their wealth into crypto. Not all of them, but 1 to 5%, right, globally. Which is this cryptocurrency market is going to hit $100 trillion, right, dollars from $3 or $4 trillion in the next 5 years, and stablecoin is going to replace Visa or Mastercard for payments. Last year, stablecoin did $30 trillion worth of transaction. This year, 30 trillion. It's huge, huge.
Wow.
And this year, they're going to exceed that. Right? And in the next 5 years, it's going to be a common form of payment. We won't be paying 3% to credit card transaction fee, having to risk a chargeback risk, 2-day settlement time for international transaction, remittances. Stablecoin is going to replace all these in the next 5 years. Right?
Wow. That's very, I amazing. I never thought it would come that way so quickly. But I think we've reached our time for today. Thank you so much for your insightful discussion of today's topic, and we look forward to speaking with you once again
Thank
in
you
the near future.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's all for Thailand Today. See you again next week.